Well, it's Mother's Day weekend. The clematis are blooming. We're with Linda. We're at the Rogerson Clematis Gardens, and we all think of clematis as growing up on a big trellis or an arbor, but you can also use them as a container plant.
That's right.
So we were thinking about this, but not all varieties are good for a container.
Right. So if you go to our website, or if you come here and ask for the Clematis Contained handout, and on our website you go to resources and look for About Clematis. This is an information sheet we have called Clematis Contained. And so it starts out talking about why you would grow clematis in a container. Well, if you have a small space, I mean, we have an acre, but if you just have a balcony and you want a vertical element in the garden, you can do it with clematis. Which pots are best? And here we've got a nice glazed ceramic pot. We're going to be potting this up. And when you're thinking about an upright, think about something like this if the people are going to be able to walk around and see the clematis from all sides. And if it's going to go against a wall, then you might want to think about a flat panel that would go at the back of the pot when you're planting. And usually we get the plant in the pot and then put the trellis in afterwards. But the big question people have is which clematis to use. And we've got a whole list on the sheet of which ones do best in containers.
Because they don't all grow the same, right?
Right. I mean, they're not all galloping to 20 feet.
Right.
And so you want to look on the label for clematis that top out at about 6 feet.
Okay.
Then they're easy to pinch back and control. And a breeder in England, Raymond Evison, has created a whole line of clematis. And look at these blooming from the ground up, basically, which is a fabulous attribute for something in a container. So that you have this nice tower, not a tall tower, a diminutive tower, but you have a whole tower of flowers.
Right. And then, when we're picking out a pot or a container, do we need to pay attention to what we're picking up on that?
Clematis roots tend to go out and then they go down.
Okay.
And so the pots that you're going to buy them in are usually 8 inches deep, and you want to have at least double that depth underneath them once you get them planted. And we like ceramic glazed containers because there's no wicking of water away from the plants like there would be if it was wood or terracotta that wasn't sealed. And nice drainage hole in the bottom, good depth. If this is probably about 18 inches deep, so we might just put gravel in the bottom for some good drainage as the water goes out. And
then what kind of soil do we need to plant it?
You want to avoid a really peaty soil. You want to avoid the sort of soil you would use for annuals, because you're not going to change this out every year like you are with your color spot pots.
Right.
You're going to want to, leave the plant alone and not be disturbing it year after year after year.
And then, then once we have it, planted up and it's growing, what kind of care do we need as far as you mentioned fertilizers and waters and sun conditions?
We tend to use tomato fertilizer, and the reason for that is plants in containers might yellow because of magnesium deficiencies in the soil, and that's another reason that tomatoes yellow. So tomato fertilizer almost always has magnesium sulfate in it, and it's a blossom booster.
Oh, nice.
So it's really great to use a water soluble. There's some organic ones, and then the other Schultz's and all these different companies that make tomato fertilizers. But you want to look for magnesium sulfate on the ingredients to make sure you're getting a tomato fertilizer that's completely balanced. And that's what we use. And we use that every other week through the growing season.
And then is it okay to mix some other plantings down at the base?
Shallow rooted annuals, something like alyssum that doesn't go very deep in the soil, so you're not going to have root competition with the clematis, are great. Any of the loose sedums, the sedums that stay pretty short but don't form a real heavy mat that plants can come up through, the shoots can come up through of the clematis. Those are great.
So Linda, you've picked out some beautiful examples of what we can use as a container.
Let me tell you about them. This is filigree with this gorgeous dusty lavender color. This is Ninon with that dark center that adds a lot of liveliness. That's a real favorite with our volunteers here. This is Inez. She has a bar. This is a very new variety for us. We don't even have our collection plants in the ground yet. And then my favorite of these is Flurry with that really dark purple.
And then you guys have an event this weekend, so we're going to go into the garden and go talk to Paula about how they can get a hold of these plants.
You bet.
So now we're down into gardens with Paula. And Paula, you have some great stuff going on this weekend for Mother's Day down here in the garden.
We really do, yeah. The event on Saturday is from 10 to 4. Come on down at 10 and 11 o'clock. We're going to be doing, Linda, the curator here, is going to be doing a container demonstration on how, which kind of clematis work well in containers. And so that'll be at 11 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have a docent-led tour of the gardens, which is always a beautiful, beautiful thing to do, very enjoyable for families and your mom. And then we're going to have a raffle also, where people, we're going to raffle off the container that Linda creates with the clematis in there, and we're going to raffle those off for $5 off, or $5 a ticket,
Okay.
or 4 for $20.
And then it's also kind of a great weekend to pick up a membership, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. In fact, we're doing a promotion for membership this weekend, where if you come in and you gift your mother a membership at any level, you can receive $5 off on a beautiful Bijou clematis, which is perfect for a container plant.
And there's definitely some benefits of having a membership, right?
Oh, for sure, yes. Membership, our memberships, you get a monthly e-newsletter. We have biannual hard copy newsletters. There are online resources of all kinds on our website. You're also invited to participate in classes throughout the year, and also other events for members only. So there's a lot that she would enjoy.
Right. So there, there's a lot going on in the gardens this weekend. They're in bloom, they're stunning. So come down this weekend with Mom, tour the gardens. Purchase a clematis to take home. Learn what to do and some care tips. It's just going to be a fun weekend all the way around. So, for more information on the gardens, go to their website, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So, Paul, it's a pleasure to be out in the gardens. They are stunning, and we're looking forward to the continuing changing and blooming.
Absolutely. Come on down.